And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the main scenario for patch 3.5. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So, in order to carry on, you need to come to the Rising Stones in Revenant's Toll. And we need to talk to Tataru. So let's see what is happening. So the quest is called Tidings from Gyr Abania. And Tataru had a request for you. So, Mithrie, just a hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favour? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Okay, so where is the Diamond Forge? Oh, it's right there. Okay. Okay, so you have to come into this little shop and click on the destination. So let's do it now. Obviously, lots of people doing the story right now, which makes sense. Okay, cutscene. So I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. What? Right, everyone, ready to go to work? So no squirming now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. Okay. They're building a statue in my honor. Okay. So there, almost all finished. The warriors of light every measurement, from heroic head to intrepid toe. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Mithrie, all in good time. Hello. Hey, Yida. Aha, I found you. Alphanode wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting. Alright. We have for a while thought if Tataru is evil or not.
We're here. Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Orianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Well, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our numbers step forward?
Must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede she might struggle to balance her new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Good point.
Oh my goodness, you're... Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... Yashola! Please, you have to help her!
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. Ah, but I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance.
She's got a London accent apparently as well.
I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I shall depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emmerich and encourage him to send an envoy. Tataru, Krile, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Gyr Abania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Dun dun dun. To buy the collector's edition or to not buy the collector's edition? Okay, so we need to now go to Ishgard. Greetings, Warrior of Light. What business brings you to Ishgard? I see. Wait here, I will summon Sir Emerick. So, it is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would certainly have sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Alamigo to our attention. Ishgard will of course send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make, not mine alone at any rate. Given the immediance of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult with my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? No. Thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handaloop that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Mithrie, pray accompany Lucia to the gates of judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Furies speed you on your way. Can't we just teleport? Okay, so let's complete that quest. Okay, next. So the next quest is called An Envoy for Ishgard. Lucia seems eager to set forth for Gridania. So if you have no other business in the city, join me at the gates of judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. Okay, so let's go. We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not I concede that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military operation or cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not be in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's book of statuses. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I should see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. Okay. My reading skills still haven't improved. So let's teleport straight to Camp Dragonhead. Some of you have been watching me since Aram Reborn started, so thank you very much. I wish I could do better with my reading, but I think it's a combination of non-English parents and laziness. So here is Aymeric. So the garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Mithrie? You may see a familiar face. Interesting, interesting. So Mithrie, old girl, how wonderful to see you, and Sir Aymeric too. To what do I owe, though, these unexpected pleasures? I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you will excuse... Nay, do not trouble yourself, Honoroid. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. We fight in it. Yes, Lord Commander. We fight a lot in it. Huh. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to a to an Imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel and the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. I salute you. Surprised to see yours, helm? Yeah. You and me both, old girl. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Rip. Yet we can but play the hand we're dealt, and with a little help from the veterans and Honorot's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old girl. Off to Gridania with you. Okay, so now we need to go to Gridania. So let's teleport, thankfully right next to the Aetheryte. So I'm curious what they're going to leave us on to get us ready for 3.55. Well, I guess we're about to find out, aren't we? There's Aymeric. So, diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. Okay, it's complete. Next quest is called An Allied Decision. So Sir Aymeric is ready to attend the council. It seems we have an escort to the Lotus Stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are last to arrive. Let's announce ourselves, shall we? Okay, so we need to go to the Lotus Stand. So the quickest way is to go to the Conjurer's Guild. So A for right, or A for net, I should say. Conjurer's Guild. Okay, well, let's go in. So the envoy from Ishgard is arrived. Very good. This way, if you please. And the Limsa party as well. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see that I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Aymeric. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Mithrie, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day of reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort. Lady Mithrie, I was glad to hear from Rio that the missing scions have now been found. So, Ugiri, the voice actress, rest in peace. Very sad to hear of your passing. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we? If only we could go to this place more often. I also wonder if they're going to up the graphics for PlayStation 4 Pro.
As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people too would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defenses seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, so let's talk to Alpha Node. So that the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good, you have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Aymeric. Master Alpha Node, a pleasure as always. And Mistress Alice, How wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Mithrie for serving us as our escort before our duties called her away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mistress Ugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seedseer to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Aymeric. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Huh. Mayhap the ones who sound like the... Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Ugiri? Actually, I think I shall first pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papalymo and Yida fared in their task with the Sylphs, not to mention what has been going on at Balsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. Okie dokie. So let's go to Revenant's Toll. Best walking ever. So welcome back, Mithrie. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I'll ever feel at home in the realm of politics. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. So let's take the silver piece. Next quest is called Griffin on the Wall, and we will get another brick orchestrion roll. So music roll for another brick, used to add to your orchestrion list. So Elise seems eager to discuss the council's decision with the other scions. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Okay, so let's go in. So, you are returned from the council. But what of Alpha Node? Did some other matter require his attention? Mine apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Krill, how's Nago doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tataru is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the Council's decision? Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Either you cannot, seriously, one does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quiet. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there was some way to reach Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon his reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath Balsar's wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Great numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Grill and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, levelers? I'll return to East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worst, it would seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Mithrie? Gridania will be safer for your presence, and while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stone to pass on the messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. So like I said, I do wonder if they'll up the graphics for PlayStation 4 Pro. I guess we will see. Let's talk to Alpha Node. So if you have any unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I will depart for the Hawthorne Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobscured view of Balsar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Okay, let's go. I remember I used to go to Hawthorne Hut for leave quests a million years ago. If you guys watch my old episodes, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, cutscene. Ah, Mithrie, there you are. Come. Amarix's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alpha Node, we'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Yida. Nary a moment ago, you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than by the neck. So which is it to be? 'Twould be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papolimo, I'll shake whatever needs shaken. The talking part I leave to you. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. And it's raining. Okay, here we are. So, welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers? You will find them at the observation platform. Pray proceed. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. I haven't seen him in a while. So I was hoping you might turn up. I dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind them why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the Grand Melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honour it is to stand at your side. 'Tis heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Kaboom. Oh dear. So, report. What? 7 hells. Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault. So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has... And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colours. Impossible, we gave no such order. Of course, the wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin's supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Mithrie, we must make for the wall at once. What, just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that, Lady Hilda, may I ask you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Ha! I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Okay. So, forward, comrades. The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo, and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step to the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free no matter the cost. I wonder if they're going to show his face. Okay, here he is. From what Papalima told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straight ways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if they were any other way. But the time for subtlety is past. I take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through the Griffin. Make him see reason by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop and spirit us away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. Cool. So Balsar's Wall is now accessible. So in order to carry on the story, you need to do it, but you also need to do it to unlock the current expert duty roulette. So 2 reasons to do it. Anyway guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie.